Kia ora, good evening. A charity to help orphaned and abandoned children in Uganda is officially launching in New Zealand tomorrow night. The decision to launch in New Zealand came about from the support of Southland women Jane Laurie, but the Fountain of Peace Children's Foundation was the brainchild of co-founders Peace and Patrick Ruharuza. The aim is to help Ugandan children in need.
In terms of specific goals, we at the moment are looking at building children's villages. Because one of the biggest problems we have identified along the course of doing this charity work is there are a lot of children that are homeless. And when a child does not have a home, and they are susceptible to all sorts of evils. And in Africa, the story is quite different. Some things are gory to even talk about. But things like child sacrifice and rape, and the best way to survive is to become a prostitute and just living a hopeless life. And when they're in the rural place, the best alternative they can have is child labor, be owned by somebody and work for them, or get married as early as you can so you can survive. And so what we thought was the best way is first give a child a home. And so we're working towards building homes for destitute kids, not necessarily orphanages, because some of these children may have parents that abandoned them and ran away, and they are all over the place. And so we build homes within a typical village environment so that they are raised within the same environment they would have grown earlier. And so our specific goal at the moment is building homes and creating all the other peripheral attendant necessities like school and health care and for the children that I need at the moment. Yeah.
Tell me, why set up this charity originally?
Fountain of Peace was started purely as a result of an individual's experience. A lady called Peace, who happens to be my wife and therefore founder of Fountain of Peace, was born in a set of circumstances that you can only define as very less privileged. And she was given away to a family due to family pressures when she was only 3 years. And she ended up doing child labor and having a lot of very unfortunate circumstances growing up. When she was 6 years old, she was picked up by Compassion, which is Tear Fund in this country. And they looked after her, paid her school fees all through life. And growing up and finally getting married, she'd always had this date in her heart to go back and help those that may have been or may be in the same situation that she was in. And that is the passion and the reason behind the Fountain of Peace.
Southlander Robin McNeill has been named a Fellow of the Institute of Professional Engineers New Zealand, believed to be one of only 3 Southlanders to hold the title. The Institute says the election recognises his contribution to engineering and technology in the community, both locally and internationally, and in particular his role in pioneering a variety of telecommunications initiatives in rural Southland, including the early deployment of broadband. It also notes his involvement in a number of community organisations and that he is a stalwart of his local IPEN's branch committee. A new trust is being established to promote the arts in the South. The Southland Arts Trust is being set up by Venture Southland and Invercargill City Council. Venture Southland Creative Projects Manager Angela Newell says the purpose is to advance arts and culture in Southland.
Well, the Trust has come out of the research that Venture Southland undertook after the last arts conference, and it's about gathering as many people together who've got a stake in the arts and getting them together and coming up with some initiatives that will be an overarching strategy for all of the arts in Southland. So it's not just for one particular genre, it's for all of the arts.
How's this going to be funded?
Well, like all trusts that are set up, obviously that having that legal entity status means that you can apply for funding. So it's about coming up with really great plans and good budgets, solid budgets that we can go to the usual funders for, whether that be Creative New Zealand or our local funders down here.
Can you give us some examples of some of the projects that you're wanting to tackle?
I think one of the big things is youth development. getting young people engaging with the arts outside of their usual avenues, which is generally school. So trying to get young people engaging with groups so that they become the leaders in the future. It's very important that, you know, the societies and the organisations that are out there that have got perhaps more of a retiring work, staff, that they look at getting some young people involved so that they are able to take over in the years to come. Once all those baby boomers hit retirement, you know, we need to be looking for the next generation to come through and really lead the arts organisations in Southland.
Coming up in sport, both team captains following the abandoned second test between the Black Caps